Good morning, it's Janet Gorant here. Janet Gorant from Tribe Sober. It's going to take me a while to get used to saying that, but it'll get there soon. But I've been saying it's Janet Gorant from World Without Wine for the last 5 years, so it's a bit of a habit. It's going to take a bit of getting used to. But one thing that will be nice is that I was interviewed by so many journalists over the last few years, and they would say things like, "Oh, Janet, can there really be a world without wine?" That would always be their first question. So they're not going to ask me that anymore. That's awesome. So today is launch day. It's the 6th of March 2021, and it's the day that we transition from World Without Wine to Tribe Sober. Yay, there's somebody there. Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. Oh, I'm so glad you love the new name. I must say we've had lots of good feedback about the name. I'll tell you why I changed it in a minute. But yeah, I mean, a few people said, "Oh, I'm going to miss that pretty flower in the bottle," because I don't know if everybody got the what's the word, the symbolic nature of our previous logo, but it was an empty bottle, and what it was saying was, your bottle of wine might be empty, but there's this beautiful flower in it because there's a new life there. Okay. Lynette also loves the brand. Hello, Flick. I hope you've got your your password worked out now. Oh, stress on the technology front. I can't begin to tell you. It's been a whole week of that. And this morning, just as I thought we were going to go live seamlessly at 9 o'clock, the homepage came up and it was completely the wrong one because we've been changing, we've been listening to people and changing things around. And we got some great feedback from Laura, one of our members, and she said yes, it's very user friendly for people that want to join up. There's plenty of places they can go and read more and sign up. But it's if you are an existing member, then you have to kind of search a bit. And I thought, well, that's not right, because we want to look after our existing members. So that's why we got that picture that's now right at the top, and it says members area. And I mean, ideally, I would like that picture to show real members. For now, we've used a stock photo, but I like the idea of having that on the top and people know as members immediately which bit to click. So this morning, I'm going to talk to you about why we changed the name, and also, more importantly, how will it benefit our members? How will it benefit you? I mean, there's probably members that will come and listen to this in the main, but after it's when it's recorded and left on the timeline, there'll be lots of people watching this who aren't members. So I'm going to go through the steps and try and emphasize how it will benefit current members and prospective members. So why did I change the name? Well, when I stopped drinking in 23rd of May 2015, amazing how you never forget that date, isn't it? I started blogging. The day I stopped drinking, I literally started blogging because I've always loved to write. And I thought, if I put myself out there, then and talk, wax lyrical about sobriety, I'm going to look so stupid if I fail. So it was my pride, that kept me going. I thought it makes me accountable. And, I was writing about the bad things and the difficulties as well. It certainly wasn't, or particularly optimistic blog sometimes. I was plotting my downs as well as my ups. But I got loads of comments on that blog and I was getting questions. Once it became clear, maybe 2, 3 months in, I was going to carry on blogging every week and that I was making progress, I was getting there. People would write to me and they'd say, "Oh, I wish I could do what you've done, Janet, but I just can't imagine doing it. I can't imagine my life without booze, and I just don't know where I'd start." So I started giving advice to these people. I remember saying to my husband, I seem to have turned into Marjorie Proops, who I don't know if you suffers know, but she's a British agony aunt. And I spent my life, replying to emails that people were sending me. And then I started to kind of reflect. When I got to about 6 months sober, I was feeling good. I knew that I was going to do this thing. And I started wondering how I could formalize the way that I was helping people a bit more and reach more people. And I thought, well, I've got 25 years experience, in training and development, coaching, HR, surely I can design and facilitate a one-day workshop, because obviously I've done lots of workshops in my career, on managing change, management skills, etc. But this time it was going to be obviously a different topic. But I knew, the trick to a good workshop is to make it very interactive and give people, some very clear things to take away and do. So I designed the workshop. We had our first workshop November 2015, and it was fully booked and it had great feedback. So we carried on doing it, and I think tonight I'm running one for our American friends, and that'll be about number 58. So we've done plenty of workshops now. And I was also an executive coach in my corporate life, so I retrained to be a recovery coach. And then we were getting people that had been on the workshops, they were saying, the workshop was great, but I need a bit of support now to implement all that good stuff that I've learned. So that's what gave me the idea of a membership program. So let's put the community together, and then, they can help each other, because it shouldn't be all about me. I'm not the magic guru. I don't have all the answers. I wanted people to help each other. So that's why the membership started, and that's been working really well. So what's happened is one woman's blog has now evolved into a community, and the community often call themselves the tribe. And it just came to me one day in the bath. I always get my good ideas in the bath. I thought, why don't we call ourselves the tribe? And then I thought, well, maybe that's a bit vague. Let's make it Tribe Sober. So, I asked a few people what they thought, and I asked my son and his girlfriend, so I'll try the young generation, and they said, yeah, yeah, much better. And, a few people have said, well, world without wine, that without word, it's a bit negative, it implies deprivation. And these days I'm coming from the opposite place to that, because I don't believe you have to lead a life of deprivation if you don't drink. I think it's the opposite. It's an opportunity to change your life. It's not a problem. So that's really why I changed the name. And but I'm not just going to talk more about that, although I could. I want to talk now about how that name change will benefit you as our current members. And if anyone is watching this that is tempted to give us a try and sign up, then I want you to understand how the membership program works. So I also released a podcast about this subject this morning. So if you prefer, to have this information in your ears as you're running or something, it's also available there. So let me start. I mean, some of you might want to open, just listen to this and open your phone on the actual membership site, which I'm going to do because then I can talk you through it. So let me talk you through the 6 steps. We've got 6 steps to sobriety. Step number 1, surprise, surprise, it's connection. We all know, don't we, that connection is the opposite of addiction. And that's why, our community is thriving, because they're all helping each other. They really care about each other. And what we've done to keep that connection going is we've set up a forum. And this forum, we've tried to make it as easy as using WhatsApp. And that's why, if any of you are kind of struggling with it, I want you to tell me, because we're going to keep, working on it until it's absolutely seamless. But for the moment, if you stay logged in, there's no reason for you to have to log out every time. Log in as a member, stay logged in, and then just get on your phone, open the website, go to the member area and click on the forum icon, and you'll be straight into the forum. So the membership program consists, maybe I should say this, of 6 steps, and in each 6th step we have an icon, and each of those icons, I mean, they are labeled, aren't they? Let me check my phone. Yes, they are labeled, and there's a pretty picture as well. And what you have to do is touch them. Just touch each icon and it'll open up for you. So that you'll get directly to the forum by clicking on that icon. And the next icon is the Zoom Cafe. And many of you know that's what we do on Saturday afternoons. And yeah, this afternoon's, I must tell you guys, because we've got a lot of current members there. This afternoon it's 2:30. Sue will be opening up the Zoom cafe because I'm doing the Americans workshop at 4:30. So usually it's later in the afternoon, but for people that aren't yet members, every Saturday afternoon we have a Zoom cafe and we usually have a speaker or a mini training or a member share, and then we go around the room, if that's the right word, and get a check-in with everybody. So that those are working really well and people love our Zoom cafe. And the third thing that we've got in connection, this is a bit of an experiment, I haven't tried this before, but we're calling it member bios. And I thought it would be nice. I mean, some people are very private about this journey, and I absolutely understand that. And in fact, we've added an extra facility to the new membership offering, in that if you want to be completely private, then there's a way that you can take out your name, make sure that your name doesn't appear anywhere, just use an initial, no need for a photo, and you can participate freely in the forums and everything else, and your name will be hidden. But having said that, lots of us, we're very open about our journey, or we want to share our story because we know that our story helps other people. So what anybody that feels like I do, then we've got a space. If you click on what do we call it, member bios, there's instructions behind there, and it tells you how to post your picture and put a few lines about you. You don't have to put a picture, but if you do, a picture and a little bit about you. And then, as I say, it's a bit of an experiment, but I imagine we'll end up with some kind of wall. So I thought that would be nice for new members when they come in and they start looking around and they look at the forum and they'll be thinking, I wonder who these people are. I thought it'd be really nice for them just to go into the member bios and read a little bit about each member and think, oh yeah, I'll, because as we all know, don't we, this journey, it's about finding your people. You've got to find people you can relate to. And that's why, I was struggling at AA because I couldn't find my people. I had to look elsewhere until I found a community that really resonated with me. So that's member bio. So, what we say to new members is just get connected, go to the forum, come to a Zoom cafe, check out some other members and, connect. Now, step two, just move it on my phone. Step two is shopping. Now we like shopping, don't we? So if you click on that shopping trolley, you will find our friends at Drink Nil there. And most of you know by now that Drink Nil are an amazing online store of all the alcohol-free drinks that are available. They've got more than 100 choices there. It's a beautiful website. Go and have a look around. They're offering 10% discount to all of our members. So that's any order that you put in. There is a 400 rand minimum spend, but it's on every single order. So you might want to, once you've found your favorite alcohol-free drinks, I mean, I put in a monthly order now and I get a box delivered. I get 10% off, and I'm really happy with that. I've always got a fridge full of delicious alcohol-free drinks to drink. And the next thing that we advise people to do, so once you've filled your fridge with alcohol-free drinks, then we advise people to get reading. I think many of us on here, we love our quick lit, don't we? And we're kind of used to reading stuff. I mean, even me in my 6th year of sobriety, I still read any new book that comes out. So we've got a little Amazon store going on behind the book picture. And on that Amazon store, we've put all of our favorites. So all you need to do is just click on any of those and you can buy the book straight away. If there's any book that you really love that's missing there that you want to recommend to us, then just let us know and we'll add it. It's very easy to add. And last but not least, in the preparation section, we've got the workshop because if you're feeling nervous about the journey ahead, then come to a workshop. Let us help you change your mindset around drinking. We'll help you work on your limiting beliefs about alcohol. And of course, we'll share our toolkits with you. That's tried and tested ways, to manage your cravings, to find, other things to do as you go forward. So that's how you connect and how you prepare. Now, step three, it's quite fun doing a bit of shopping, isn't it? And doing a bit of chatting. But step three is all about actually doing the work. So step three, excuse me, I just need a drink. So as a new member, Sue will send you a welcome mail and she'll put you on our starter challenge. That's a 30-day challenge. And all it is a daily email, just, bite-sized information, tips, tools, inspiration to get you through that particular day. And you'll also be on the forum, talking to people, telling them how you go, how you're doing. You might be saying, oh, it's day 6 and I'm really struggling, and everybody will pile in and tell you how to get through day 6. So use your people, don't be isolated. And the other thing that you need to do while you're doing the work is to download a tracker. I mean, we've got some great trackers. I know you can get a tracker on your phone, but I really think just having one sheet of paper where you can mark off all your alcohol-free days in a year, that's a great thing. At a glance, you can see how you're doing. You can stick it on your fridge, you can stick it on the wine rack. And what's important is it gives you that perspective. And you can look at we like to call them sober stretches. So some people, they're struggling a lot at the beginning and they can only manage, say, 3 days at a time. But never mind, that's a 3-day sober stretch. It'll be marked very clearly on their tracker. And then, time will go on and then they'll maybe manage a 10-day sober stretch. And eventually, if people try hard and hang in there, all of those little sober stretches, they'll join up and they'll be alcohol free. So use your tracker. And on a Saturday, we have Screenshot Saturday. If you haven't done it yet, please do it today. Share your tracker and share it on the forum, please. So yeah, trackers are awesome. Designed by Lucy. Have to give a shout out to Lucy. What else? Where was I? Oh, milestone awards. I really like this. Milestones are so important, and we've been putting it on our various groups in the past. And every time someone has said, "Oh, I've hit 30 days," or "I've hit 100 days," or "I've hit 2 years," I've been kind of jumping into Canva, trying to make a little badge or a card or something, and it's always kind of different, and there's no consistency there, and it's getting quite hard because I'm not complaining at all, but there are so many milestones coming in that it's hard for me to keep up with them. So we thought that we'd have a system. So we have these milestone badges, and if you click on it, you can see the various milestone badges that you can apply for. It's like 30, 60, 90, 100, etc. And you just have to drop us a mail, and then we'll send you the appropriate badge. And then we want you to post it everywhere, and bask in the congratulations. So that's the milestone badge. And milestones are great because I've got this picture somewhere, I think it's in Milestones, of a mountain, and I've called it Milestone Mountain. And you can see that the milestone badges, they're like anchor points. When you're climbing a mountain, not that I've ever climbed a mountain, but I believe, you need footholds, don't you? You need anchor points. And you need exactly the same for this. So milestones are great. You get a dopamine hit, you get the energy to keep on going. So let me just have a little break, see who's here before I go to step 5. No, that's step 4, isn't it? Right, like the new name. Oh, hi, Jenna. Like the pretty pinks. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, we're slightly anxious that the website is a little bit too girly, so we might kind of gradually butch it up a bit. But as we're mostly ladies anyway, so we'll see. But if I get We do have, I don't know, I've never counted them, but I would think maybe 30 guys. So I need to poll the men's group, I think, and see if they all really hate it. So, oh, Tumi. Hi, Tumi. Haven't seen you for ages. Hi, Sue. Jane from Norway. Natasha from Jersey. Fantastic. Oh, Suzanne. Yes, Suzanne, we had a chat, didn't we? You were posting on our private group yesterday. So we've rebranded all the social media. So let me know if any of that looks weird, because I think it's pretty much all right now. Awesome. Okay. Well, it's always so reassuring to know somebody's there. Thank you, guys. So let me summarize and move on. What's the time? I'm okay. So you've connected on the forums, you've prepared, you've done your shopping, done a bit of reading, and you've done the work. You've done that 30-day starter challenge with your tracker. You've grabbed a milestone badge. So what happens next? Well, some people, I mean, I found that a lot of people that they just come to a workshop, and because they've accepted that they have to make a change, you know, we hear it in the shares. People say things like, I can't do this anymore, you know, I've got to make a change. And I always know those people are really ready because they look weary, you know, they're finished with all this, and I was in the same place. And then after the workshop, they never drink again. It's almost as if, I'm not saying the workshop's magic, but I'm saying that it's like they use that opportunity to draw a line under it. It was like a landmark. So they stopped drinking at the workshop and they moved on. And some people are like that. Some people even manage, you know, just by being a member to do that. But many other people, they need a bit more support, and that's fine. You know, I think it depends, doesn't it, on how many years you've been drinking, how much you've been drinking, you know, how far you've crossed that line. So if people need more support, then that's when we're offering sober buddies. And we've been running this for a while, and we've got a lovely lady called Lynn who's a counsellor, and she oversees the program. And our sober buddies are people that have got sober with us, you know, via a challenge or a workshop or membership. And rather than drifting off into the sunset, they've decided to stick around a little bit and help other people, which is lovely. Because, you know, AA have figured this out, obviously, many years ago, because that's why they have sponsors. But it's one of the nicest things you can do. And certainly, you know, I can vouch for that, can't I? Because here I am 6 years sober doing this. You know, if I hadn't had this to do, then maybe I might have slipped back. I really don't know. But it really underpins your own journey, and it is so rewarding to help other people. So our sober buddies are there. They're not qualified coaches, they're not qualified counselors, but they are people that have given up drinking and they're prepared to give a little bit of time to reach out to a new person and just offer another layer of accountability so they can you know, if you're feeling if you're pulling out your hair at 10 o'clock in the evening thinking I can't do this, I need a drink, then you know, maybe a little WhatsApp to your sober buddy and they can talk you down. So that's why we've got our sober buddy system. So if you look at your icons and you find the sober buddy one and you touch it, then you should find pictures and bios of all our sober buddies. The idea is that you go to look at those pictures and see, you know, if there's anyone that you think you could work well with. You've also got, I see we've put the video of Lynn talking about the program, so it's quite a nice, rich section. So pop into there if you think, because obviously you've got the forum, so you've got group support, but sometimes it's nice to have that one-to-one support from someone that's been there and done it. Now, as I say, sober buddies aren't qualified, but if you want a qualified coach, recovery coach, then you've got the awesome Lynette. I mean, Lynette gets so many rave reviews. She's you just have to experience a coaching session with Lynette. I think it's essential. You've also got me, I'm a coach, and we've got a trainee coach coming up as well. She's called Janice. She's been sober about 5 years. And she's been doing a coaching course, and she's still a trainee, but once she qualifies, she'll be taking on paying clients as well, so that we'll have someone else available. Right. So the other extra bit of support we've got is we've got our doctor. We've got Dr. Judy. So if you've got kind of worries about your health, you know, if you're feeling really bad, you know, this in early sobriety, I mean, obviously we've got the pause thing to worry about, so that there are ups and downs. But if you have a specific medical issue, which is related to drinking, and you don't feel like going to your own doctor, then you can just click on our Ask the Doc icon. You'll find a form there, fill in the form, it'll go directly to Dr. Judy in confidence. She'll reply to you. And then eventually I'll get the questions and answers without names, and I will publish them in Doctor's Q&A, because you know we can all learn from other people's medical questions and Judy's answers. So that's the kind of extra support section. Some people might not need any of that. Some people might need all of that, but we're trying to cater for people, you know, at different levels. Step 5, healing. Now, it took me a while, you know, of doing this work before it really kind of twigged that healing, you know, that this journey, it wasn't just about ditching the drink. It was a two-step journey. Once you've ditched the drink, you've then got to kind of reconfigure your life. You've got to learn to thrive in your alcohol-free life. Because if you leave everything exactly the same, you're always going to feel that there's something missing. Yeah, I was talking to a guy the other day, 8 years sober, and he said, "Oh, I've still got FOMO." So that kind of indicates that he hasn't done the work on his limiting beliefs, and that he's, you know, he's not changed his life, his other life in any way. So to help you to kind of thrive in your alcohol-free life, and what do we say? We want to help you create a life that you don't want to escape from, because I think many of us spent so many years numbing out that, you know, we missed out on a lot of life because we weren't really there. We kind of numb. So to help you get back in touch, you know, with your mind, with your body, we've got some online yoga. So we've got Tamsin, who is an amazing yoga teacher. She's got a very successful studio here in Cape Town. You can read all about her just by touching that icon. She's been my teacher for years, and she's great. And she's offering 25% off her yoga classes. And then she's married to a guy called Tom, a Brit actually, who is a nutritionist. And he's also offered 25% off his consults. So check out those two guys, and, you know, just do one session with each, and the chances are you'll love them. If it's Tom, if you have any weight issues, you know, if you're finding that you're stuffing yourself with sweets ever since you stopped drinking, then, you know, go and see Tom, and he'll help you devise an eating plan. He'll motivate you to stay on it. He'll see you regularly and monitor your weight. So that's something that you might like to think of doing. And we, you know, we do so much damage to our gut, for example, when we drink, and you need to heal it. You need to heal your body and your mind. And talking of minds, we've got our lovely Belinda Roxburgh, who is a hypnotherapist. She came to a workshop years ago. She's now thriving in her alcohol-free life, and she's offering free hypnotherapy sessions to our members. And yeah, she wants to offer a free session so that you can find out if it's if you like it's a benefit, and if you want to continue, then obviously, you know, she'll agree a fee with you. So you've got three things there, you know, to help you move forward. And I would really recommend that you try each one of them. Just try once, you know, and there's absolutely nothing to lose. And I'm quite confident that one of those three things will add a lot of value for you. Okay, so we're nearly at the end now. Good grief, 29 minutes. I've got to wrap this up soon. Step 6. Well, step 6, you know, in my head, I imagine by the time people get to step 6, we're talking about a year of alcohol-free life. So then obviously it's time to celebrate. So we want you to join our VIP 1 year club. And what we're going to do for that club is we're going to set up a forum. I mean, at the moment, I think on WhatsApp we've got a 6 month plus group, which we'll keep going. But on the website, we want to set up a 1 year VIP club, and in addition, of course, to the daily chat that is on there at the moment, we want that to settle down, be functioning. We want to be confident that everybody finds it easy to use. And then we'll open another forum, because the joy of the way that we've set it up is we can have lots of forums. I was thinking we might have a forum called Back to Day One, where people can dive in and see what happened to other people when they felt they were back to day one again. So people with a year, they'll be able to join that forum. And the conversations on there are quite different to the conversations on the regular group. Rather than saying, oh, I fell off the wagon, or, oh, I've just managed to get to 3 weeks. These are people that are pretty confident in their sobriety. So they're talking more about how their life is opening out, how it's developing. The other day, everyone was talking about what amazing hobbies, that they've managed to do with all the time that they've saved since they stopped drinking. So they have, they've been doing, they've got a lady that's painting, another one that's, really into her gardening, someone that's just doing beautiful embroidery. I mean, we're going to have a Zoom cafe actually on the 20th, just to look at everybody's hobbies. We're asking everyone to bring along stuff, so that'll be fun. So yeah, the conversations are much deeper on that 6 month, 1 year group. And obviously the 1 year people will also be grabbing a 1 year milestone badge. And then we'll pin it. We've got, in this very last step, we've got something called the Sober Champions League. And that's what I see as a wall where we're going to pin everybody's milestone badge. And then last but not least, on our step 6, we've got our pay it forward fund. So if by any chance you're feeling grateful that you've managed to ditch the drink and change your life, and you'd like to help someone else, then make a contribution to the Pay It Forward fund, even if it's only 200 Rand. Because what we use that fund for is if anyone's struggling to pay their subs, as it happens occasionally, or if anyone would love to join but they just can't afford it, then we help out people, we sponsor them. And we've already done a bit of this in the past, and people have been extremely generous, and the ones that get sponsored are extremely grateful. So it's just a beautiful thing to do. And we call it the Pay It Forward Fund, because if you've achieved sobriety, if you've come out of a dark place where you were drinking too much, and now everything's cool, then it's lovely just to be able to say, I'm grateful. How can I help someone else to get where I am? So I think that's more or less it. I do hope you like the new features. I'll have a look at the comments in a minute. The website is brand new today, so there's bound to be teething problems, there'll be errors in there. So just don't hesitate to send me anything that you see. You'll find the odd World Without Wine that should be Tribe Sober, I'm sure, because we did shift, some content over. And finally, please tell your friends that we've got this launch offer. The first 25 people that ask will get a free 1 month trial membership. And how that'll work is they'll have to sign up and give their credit card and pay 5 Rand, because that's PayFast rules, not mine. And then after 3 weeks, we'll write to them and we'll say, okay, what do you think? Do you want to stay with us? And if they say yes, then we'll give them a 100 Rand Drink Nil voucher as a welcome gift. And then their membership will automatically renew until they decide to cancel it. If they say, no, it's not really for me, there's just too much chat going on, which some people do say, then we'll cancel it immediately with no hassle, and just thank them for having looked around. So I think that's it. I think at 34 minutes, that's quite long enough for a Facebook Live. So I hope you got something from that, guys. Please have a listen to the podcast as well if anything's unclear. And I'll just have a look. So yes, love my session with Belinda. You see Belinda, our hypnotherapist. I'll pinch myself every day, Lynette. Yes, thank God we did this. Right. Oh, thank you, Jane. I'm happy I found you too. I miss you, Jane. Um, Berlindrum after the workshop were my cementers. Okay, interesting. So Flick came to a workshop and then she got hypnotherapy and coaching, and she found that that made it stick, you know, because I'm always blogging on how to make your sobriety stick. Nutritionist and yoga, yeah. Heal our bodies and minds. All the info on the workshop. Who is Harry Clinton? Not sure. So Suzanne, yes, well, I've told you, Suzanne, just join up and we'll bring you into our community and you will be able to help someone. So hopefully you've done that by now. I haven't had a chance to look at my emails, but once you're a member, once you've subscribed, then fine, you can grab one of the free trial offers if you like. Harry Clinton, inbox me, my beloved. Okay. Right, that was me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so pleased that the workshops do change things. And as I said, I've got an evening one with the Americans tonight, so that's fun. Hi Sue, Chumi. We need to see more of you, Chumi. Are you still working with your sober buddy, Kai? You need to give us an update. Natasha, hope you come to the Zoom cafe later. Kerry likes the pretty pinks. So yeah, we haven't got any guys on here that we can ask about the pretty pinks, but ask some of your mates, your guy mates, ask them what they think. Is it too much? Maybe we got carried away. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming along, and I'll see you in the forum. I'm going to look on the forum now, and I hope that there's loads of messages there. And don't hesitate to get in touch if you find bits of the workshop, bits of the website that aren't working, because obviously we know that we've got to make things work seamlessly, and we're not quite there yet. Okay, guys, have a fabulous day. See. I'm not coming to Zoom Cafe because I got my workshop, but Sue will be there. So